Hello, and welcome to Cheap Homes. Listen, this is the last video. The last video I made, I didn't put it out there. I didn't send it to people that I normally send it to. Uh, so this is the last one I'm gonna put out there to everybody. So I think you can subscribe on this channel. I'm not a techie, so I can't really. If you can't, I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have to search the videos and look for the videos because I'm not gonna maybe some people I will, but most people I'm just not going to send them to. So if you don't, I don't want to lose any friends over force feeding videos to your private messenger or your text message or anything else. Uh, so the markets today, I've been screwed up, sort of. As a bear, the fact that I was up 33, well, what was it, like 0.20% on a day. The NASDAQ was up 0.43 or something like that. I didn't do so bad. Um, it was it's trading has been like my sleep pattern. It's been all screwed up. So I'm like sleeping during the day when I'm supposed to be trading. I'm waking up and I'm like, oh God, it went red. Oh no. But anyway, I switched my position to TQQ earlier today, and I sold off at the close. The close, if the market's, if what you're holding is going that SSQQ, TTQ, whether it's TTQQ, which is the top 100 Nasdaq stocks going going north, three times. So it's like triple of if it's going north one. Well, TTQQ is going north three times. Now 100 Nasdaq is those are like basically tech stocks, top 100 stocks in the Nasdaq. Now this dog is driving me crazy. It's okay, Ziggy. Um, I feed her raw chicken now. She loves it. Maybe I'll make a video of that someday. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I switched out of SSQQ, and I was down. Was I down? Or was I even? I think I was about even. I was about even, and I was up I don't know, quite a bit earlier when I fell asleep, and then I woke up, switched to it sold at the close. So I don't like carrying stuff in this market overnight. I thought about it because I think probably for the next week, maybe 2 weeks, we hit the bottom of the Behringer bar. We stuck there for a while this time. The Behringer bar is like this, whatever. Behringer made it. But when it hits the bottom, the market tends to always go back up and hits the top of the Behringer bar. And the Behringer bar kind of changes as the market changes, but it trades within the Behringer bar. So we just hit the bottom, and it was kind of sticky. It wasn't moving. But today, Wall Street spoke strongly that the street, well, and traders too. Uh, they 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 pushed the market up in the beginning of the day, and it went down and pushed it. It's a crazy day. It's been like this for weeks. It's driving me nuts because I'm trading against these damn machines. Uh, I should probably learn more about these machines. I know sort of the prices where they are trading. Um, but so I'm gonna say it's a bad day for me because I'm a bear, grizzly bear, and I'm up. But yeah, I expect the market to go up actually, at least this week. The SSQ or the TTQQ will continue to rise um, to the end of the week. Now I sold because I don't know if I'm gonna wake up in the morning. I may be stuck in something. I like I want, but anyway. So yeah, and I would if you want to play a manipulated stock, Awins. I buy it at 12 and a half. I wouldn't buy too much of it because it's not heavily traded. So, selling it's not extremely liquid. Um, Turn off my TV here. Hold on. Whoops, that's my vape juice. uh, let me see here. Um, yeah, it's not totally liquid, so I don't take too big of a position in it. It's kind of sometimes just dabble in. I'm trying to SSQQTTQQ. I was up $200. I wound up 30. So, but I slept too much. Got a good day's sleep. I got to change this sleep schedule because I literally sleep from like 4 a.m. to 4 in the afternoon. That's the whole market. Everything. Uh, maybe I should just trade after hours. I don't know. I'll figure that out at night. So yeah, I expect it to continue to go up. Now we might see a drop tomorrow. I think we will see a drop tomorrow at some point. The machines where the price we're at, we're still selling. The machines are still selling off. But as people come into the market and buy, then the machines buy. As people start to sell, the machines sell. The whole thing is so crazy because there's so many billions of dollars wrapped up in these machines, and their whole game is to take retail's money. Like I have no idea how the hell I'm going to beat this damn machine. I'm trading against a machine. So anyway, we'll see how smart AI is. When I'm broke, like AI is like through the roof. Uh, so I'm watching the politics here. I'm seeing, uh, I should probably, I don't know if I talked about this. I visited Germany, and I noticed when I got to Germany, observing, and I spoke to them a little bit, the younger people, like, late teens, early 20s, even in their 30s. Um, they were very much American, not like the Irish kids. The Irish kids are Irish, but and I says, "Oh my God, like these are like the kids we're creating in America, like the same thing. Like they can't raise a military, and everything is it's very woke." I'll give you an example. I tried to explain it to my 86-year-old father here. Doesn't work. Uh, I was outside a liquor store. I bought a big bottle of vodka, and I don't really drink. I used to drink a lot, but anyway, so I had this bottle. This Polish guy. It turns out he was homeless. He's telling me he used to work for the Russian mafia. This guy probably did. He's a younger guy, big guy, and the Poles and the Russians. The Russians they're big in Europe, in the EU. We're like sharing the bottle of vodka. And then this transvestite guy, this old guy in black tights, and I don't even know if he was wearing a shirt, but it was like, honestly, I looked at him like I told you I don't really like drinking, but I did. I felt nauseous. Like I just looking at him made me sick to my stomach. And the Polish guy started giving him lip service. I guess saw the look on my face, and he's like, "Well, maybe I get some more vodka." This guy, he wound up with the whole bottle. I just had a glass or two and gave it to him. But while he's giving this guy lip service, ragging on this transvestite, these two German girls walk by and scold him. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. They're right. Like you can't really say anything derogatory towards this man because of his sexual identity or his gender identity or whatever the hell it is. Which, you know, you want to get into free speech in America, listen, they say you have, it's like everything here, I hate it. They say you have free speech, but then when the cop shows up, he's got this law called breach of peace. And breach of peace is any speech which he sees at that time on that day, according to him, that is limited speech and you can't say. And he's going to lock you up for breach of peace. That means speech that is not allowed that day, according to that officer. I'm going to say you should just have laws that limit offensive speech to people. Because it's not free speech, that's just offensive speech. So so it makes me nauseous. Like, does it help to call him a name or something? No, it doesn't. I'm still nauseous. But so you have laws that limit free speech or limit offensive speech, then the officer doesn't come in and just say, "Oh, well, you can't say this, or you can't." Your government, your law enforcement, way too much discretion in the law. Like those dead crackers are still running this place, and they trust me, they got you all. They got you all, just like they had the slaves in the field, working hard and not having a clue what the hell is going on, how bad you're getting screwed. That's the people who created your system, masters at getting people to produce without a clue. So anyway, as a matter of fact, law enforcement in America originated uh, as slave enforcement to catch escaped slaves and slave enforcement. That's the origins of law enforcement. So when you hear tell the cop you got a job, paying taxes. Oh, he let you go. Anyway, don't tell him you don't have a job. What I saw there is like these young people. They're just like the Americans. Like and then I realized, like, oh wait, World War II, and did we control their school systems in Germany? You know what? I found out we did. I was in West Berlin, and America controlled West Berlin. And how did they expel Nazi ideology from Nazi Germany? Well, woke theory. You had outside nations doing this. France, Russia, the United States, and I can't remember who else. Somebody else had a section of Germany that they occupied, woke. Now, woke theory was actually thrown out of France, along with theorists. They wound up in New Haven, Connecticut, which, of course, spread straight through the Ivy Leagues, who are the leaders of our country. This is like the 1940s, and that's how long it's been around. Not long after that, you had the Civil Rights Movement, etc., 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 etc. Now, I think I look at the Germans, like they can't raise an arm, but the people are very pliable. Like they're very peaceful. Everybody sort of gets. It's easy to get them to do whatever. They just do. But I think the American government looked at that, what we did with them. So, let's use this to expel racist ideology from America, which wouldn't be a bad thing. Would have been a better thing if we hadn't started it, because it grew. Uh, it became an institution in America out of for economic gain. That's why. So when you hear racism in America, yeah, everything's racist. Everything's about money, and every time you hear racism, it's about economic gain. Think about it. Black Lives Matter. Shut up. Win. Well, we gave them $1 trillion. We gave them billions to run the protest, and they got $1 trillion for their people. Everybody, oh, okay. But the difference, whoever was the like what I'm educated to do, uh, formally educated to do, uh, whatever, whoever figured this equation, like there's things that they missed. Okay, first of all, in Germany, you had an outside government going in, and governments in their own sectors instituting this woke theory to expel Nazi ideology from Nazi Germany after the war. And you did it immediately. Okay, so the people who were, uh, you know, where it was demanded, hey, look, you got to think this, not this, and this, and this. Well, they were there. They were benefiting, or they were actually even doing it, or some way part of it. Um, Whereas here in the United States, this is, let's go back at least to the 50s. Okay, I'll take it that far. I think woke theory was already start. It already started uh, by the 1950s. In fact, I think it was the 60s. 60s. My father he hired a black secretary, and that's what he was going to hire because everybody was hiring black secretaries. The first black secretary quit, so what do? We went and hired another black secretary. I'm not sure you'd get a job as a secretary with him if you were white. That was 1967. So now, he'll probably tell you a different story. Maybe I'll let him talk about it. But that's what he said, sort of. But they did hire two black secretaries back to back, and everybody in the business was doing it. Uh, but you apply this here. This is okay. Now you're applying this woke theory to expel racist ideology and prejudice from the American people, from the American system, culture. But the government that is actually in control in the country, uh, they're the ones who are actually doing it. And it's not like a foreign. We're doing it to ourselves. So the people who are here, they're not an occupied nation who lost a war. They might be fighting one. I'm not sure, but they have recourse, even within the system as it is, to expel woke theory from America and keep America or make it great again or whatever they're trying to do. But anyway, so and they've taken that redress to the political level. They have, but the core of it, the uh, the system in place has cut. I don't. Trumpers don't realize this yet, but they've actually been cut from the normal way to address a disagreement you have within the system, or one of the ways to vote. That's cut off from you. Your candidate is not allowed to be president. Now you might think he is, and he's going to be, and I'll tell you, listen, he ain't. He's not allowed. And if he does become president, my prediction is he will be killed immediately. In fact, I want to make it a prediction. I'll just tell you, he'll be killed shortly thereafter. And it'll be sort of like putting the fear of God in every Trumper in America, because it's going to be so obvious and so blatant, but hidden at the same time, much like America. It loves to do one thing and say we're doing another. But so you're trying to institute it within the country that the government is different. The Germans couldn't really have a conflict with the Americans over them instilling woke theory into their society. They were occupied. It's a foreign nation across an Atlantic Ocean they just lost a war against. They've been disarmed. Americans aren't disarmed. And in order for war to be possible, it has to be geographically possible. And it is geographically possible. All the people who are having this pushed on them, they reside here. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the map, they're everything. The red states are basically everything. I don't know what this dog wants. Everything. But the East Coast and the West Coast, everything in the middle is red. And the other thing is this is not being applied like immediately at. I would say it should have been applied. Should have been part of Reconstruction at the end of slavery, but they weren't really about. It wasn't about. Um, Reconstruction wasn't about righting the wrong of slavery. It was about reconstructing the nation after the war. Just like the war wasn't about ending slavery, it was about preserving the Union. Reconstruction was the same. It wasn't about ending slavery. It was kind of that was the issue, but the issue became much greater once the South seceded. It was about preserving the Union. So my criticism is that the people who figured this out saw Germany, what we did there, and how the people came out and the society came out. Um, thought it's going to work the same here. Listen, in the end, I think Germany is at the end of the process of that whole woke theory. They still are sort of occupying. Uh, I think they cheered when Trump pulled 25,000 troops out of Germany. They probably just, oh, you're going to not occupy the country. Okay, yeah, we'll pay your bills. They didn't care. They probably didn't pay him either. Like, whoa, you still got 25,000. You got to get out of here, bro. But anyway, uh, they miscalculated this. This is not going to work the same. Now, the end result might be the same. I think the majority of the power is with the left, and I'm not saying because of Biden. Biden don't even know what's going on. But I tell you, they're all together, and they have control of the state, and they are cutting Trumpers off from the state by cutting their candidate off from the state. I'm probably going to get some really bad stock information for making this video and lose a bunch of money. So watch this video. This is going to cost me money making this. But yeah, that process could be different. One, the people are armed. Two, they're right here. So an actual physical conflict is very, 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 very possible. Very possible. But as there's more misbehavior, call it misbehavior, more threats, as dumb as they are, I thought the insurrection was stupid to call it that. A bunch of stupid rowdies got locked out of their church and broke the windows to get in and pray, is what it was. But the likelihood of conflict, it's there. It's woke theory is not going to be implemented smoothly like it was in Germany, because these people are detached from the wrongs that were done, and there is the geographic possibility of conflict. Think about it. Where is the U.S. government going to go? They're here. No, when they fly out of helicopters, okay, maybe the conflicts, the right has won and the left has lost. I don't think that's the way it's going to go. This country, the government has way too much power, way too much resources, way too much authority, way too much discretion. Your government is the people who are the government. You have free speech until that cop says you've committed a breach of peace and you're in handcuffs and you're in the back of the car because you ran your mouth. And that day, at that time, according to that cop, that wasn't free speech. That was arrestable speech. Just a small little example. You can see it straight through the country. I even see it in the people. I live over in Ireland. I did. I'm going back. Tell me to go back. I can see it from Americans. They're just like the government that has them. They do the same thing. They say they're doing one thing when they're doing another. It's like they look like liars in Ireland. Kind of here, it's like they're being smart, but no, over there you'll be a liar. So yeah, it's not going to go the same. Will woke theory win? I'd put my money on it right now that woke theory will win, because America's about the money, and as you become more and more disadvantaged due to your lack of woke theory, the more prone you are to become woke. Is how it's going to work. Now, if you go, it's interesting because if you go out to rural America, I live in Connecticut, which is like, ugh, this place is disgusting. Everybody's so materialistic. Nobody's worth more than whatever they got in their pocket. How many dollars you got in your pocket? Well, that's what you're worth. Got no doubt you're not worth anything. But now out in rural America, it does get a little different. They're not as economically focused on the money. Call it the cracker cash. I mean, look who's on it. Guy's a slave owner. Probably, well, for his time, as far as I know, he was the biggest plantation owner in the world. And like half the United States at the time. Wasn't even the United States. But and he sold it with a bunch of native people who still occupied that land. Somebody said he owned it and then he sold it. I'm like, what? Wait, how's this? There's people, they've been living on it for thousands of years. So anyway, but yeah, those guys were masters, generation after generation on that plantation, all alone with their wife, their kids. No modern communication, no modern transportation, no modern weaponry. When you got a couple hundred slaves, you got to get them to produce. And generation after generation after generation, they got them to produce. And generation after generation, dead in the ground, them same crackers have gotten you to produce. You know the N-word, the actual definition is lazy. You don't like your system, you listen. You'd be smart to be lazy. America doesn't like lazy. You see some of it. A lot of it winds up on the streets of San Francisco and LA and Arizona, and not so bad in New York. Yeah, there's more homeless, but not so bad. Actually, I did prison time with a guy who was homeless. He lives in Penn Station. I don't know if he still lives there. Last time I used to go down there, I went down there, well, one other time. I just go around and some homeless people say, hey, you know Angry Andy? And like 20 minutes later, he just come walking up, hey, how you doing, Andy? I take him, get him dinner, and I actually had a bunch of clothes on me. I was traveling, so I gave him a new pair of sneakers and a shirt. But last time I went down, nobody knew Angry Andy. Maybe it was just new homeless people, like, and I wasn't talking to the ones who were long-term residents of Penn Station. But yeah, so that's the way it's gonna go. And oh look, here comes the dollar man. So Mr. Monahan,
Yes, sir.
you want to tell the people how the dollar is going to be rescued?
I'm gonna lift it.
Now they say the dollar is strengthening. That actually works in favor of nations ditching the dollar completely because it's going to put them also underwater. And
What does it keep working? She wants some more food?
I don't know. She's driving me crazy. Anyway, listen. I'll forget this. I'm not.